Potholes, broken roads, and no effort from civic authorities. That's what greets you on the streets of Chennai and many other parts of Tamil Nadu today. Every monsoon, we hear promises of repair, and thousands of crores of rupees have been spent on relaying of these roads. But instead, we get roads that crumble in no time, posing serious threat to the commuters. This week on In Public Interest, I speak to Jayaram Venkatesh, Convener of Arappor Iyakkam, whose campaign is challenging the rot in Tamil Nadu roads. Before we get started, here is a quick reminder. Every pothole is a sign of neglect, but by staying silent, it only makes things worse. And that's exactly what our show In Public Interest is here for, to give voice to issues that affects all of us. If you like our journalism, join us in demanding safer roads and more accountability. Support independent journalism by subscribing to the News Minute or contributing to our reporting fund. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
What exactly is the condition of roads in Chennai and in other parts of Tamil Nadu?
See, as you said, be it on social media or be it to people that we talk to, people are extremely angry about the condition of roads that that we have to encounter every day. So, a person going to office from his house has to encounter at least several potholes before he or she is able to actually reach the office. And we must understand that this is having a cascading effect in terms of the health of the citizens as well. Because right now, even in the early 40s, we are seeing many people having back pains and all that, and primarily because of the condition of these roads. And continuously, we have been getting complaints from different parts of Tamil Nadu. Therefore, we have initiated a campaign asking citizens to document about the poor roads in their areas. And over the last few days, we have now got hundreds of such roads from throughout Tamil Nadu. You could see each one of them. Like if you look at this, Numbal Road, Velapanjavadi Numbal Road, it's in a pathetic condition. I mean, no one can even commute on that road. We are seeing in places like Kannaginagar, where thousands of people have been resettled from other places. We are seeing drainage water and the rainwater mixing on the road, and the roads are also in poor condition. So all these are having a cascading effect in many of these places. So what we are witnessing is a complete lack of apathy by the government officials and the government themselves. And the result of it is the citizen is continuing to suffer because of this.
So every year we get to hear the same story. Why is that so? Like, I can understand thousands of crores have been spent on roads, relaying of roads. What exactly is happening? Because you have been, as an organization, you have been conducting these audits.
Right.
Your volunteers are there spread across Tamil Nadu. They know what exactly is happening with these roads.
Right.
Like, are they relaying these roads, or is it only main roads that are attended and the interior roads are problematic?
Yes, as you say, it is the interior roads that they don't attend to. Main roads, at least in order to ensure that the visibility part, the PR work is done, it is being repaired once in 2 years or so. The main issue is that Chennai, if you take Chennai for example, we have around 45,000 streets. And if you look at the corporation, they may relay 3,000 roads, 4,000 roads, at the maximum 5,000 roads a year.
Every year.
Right? So therefore, even to, relay a road again, an interior road again, it will take at least 10 years for them, at this rate, right? So, which means when you actually lay the road, you have to ensure that the road's lifespan is at least 10 years. And it is expected to be there for at least 8 to 10 years. For a city road, at least for 8 years. But what is happening is that many of these roads, what we are seeing is that the quality with which it is laid is very, very poor. the compaction, the bitumen, all that is a big problem. And what is happening because of that is that the wear and tear we are able to see just after one monsoon. In fact, we are pre-monsoon now.
Yeah, exactly.
Post-monsoon, we are even going to see worse conditions on the roads, because many of these roads that are laid in the previous year, just this year, we will see wear and tear because of the poor quality of laying. And this is something that we are seeing every year. So therefore, the quality of laying is one problem. The second thing is with respect to the lack of coordination between the departments. We are seeing that, I will give you an example. We have the Sivasami Salai here, right here in Chennai. If you look at this Sivasami Salai, I'm seeing that this road is being dug, laid. At least for the last 3 years, I have seen it 3 times in the last 3 years.
So different departments will commission some work on that road.
Yes.
And it will be dug up, and then it will be relayed. Then again, there will be another department.
Yeah.
So if it is Metro Water once,
and then Tangetco once, then Stormwater Drain Corporation once. So that is what has been happening on that road. And if you see, every time and we are spending again and again on the same road. This is another problem. This complete lack of coordination between the departments is another big problem that we are seeing. The third is the wasteful expenditure resulting, because of the raising of road height. If you look at the road height in many of these places, what they do is, instead of keeping the road height same, they increase the height because they don't do proper milling. Even in the tender, sometimes they give the height of the road to be increased. They will do milling for 4 centimeters, but lay the road for 6 centimeter or 7 centimeter. So eventually the height of the road increases. And when the height of the road increases, what happens is that there is a cascading effect with respect to expenditure of many departments. I will give you an example. So what happens is that many of these roads, as you pass by, you will be able to see that they will be raising the height of the platform. That is primarily because the road height has increased and it has come to the level of the platform. Now they want to increase the level of the platform. So they give a new tender for that, which is completely waste.
So one tender is for the relaying of the road. Then the road height is increased. Then you have another tender for a new height of a platform.
Then what happens is that the junction box in the platform, the EB junction box in the platform, comes to the level near the ground. Now this is a big risk in a rainy season, because it could result in electrocution of citizens. So therefore now the EB department raises the junction box. The EB pole, the height of that becomes a problem, because when these big trucks and all that pass over, it could actually, when you raise the height of the road, then they have to now replace the EB poles. So there is a new tender for that. Then within the corporation itself, we don't have a stormwater drain network for the entire city. The way it is done is that wherever the gradient is low, so for example, if you have 2 roads, one at a higher gradient, the other at a lower gradient, we don't need a stormwater drain in the road with a higher gradient, because the water will automatically go to the other road, and you will have stormwater drain from there to the nearest water body. But now what happens is that when they increase the height of the second road, now the first road becomes, water stagnates in the first road. Now citizens demand, now we need a stormwater drain here. Then they start constructing a new stormwater drain in that road. So the entire design of the stormwater drain is upset because of the construction because of the raising of the road height.
Now you call it a wasteful expenditure, but for the corporation and for the officials, it's new tenders every other month for every other issue to be resolved. So I may be getting cuts, and there's a lot of money that is involved, right?
Correct. There is a lot of money. They feel that they could earn a lot of money out of it personally as well. But much more importantly, what is resulting now is that whenever you go and ask today that your row, which really requires relaying, needs to be done, they say that there is no fund in the corporation. There is not enough fund. Why there is not enough fund is because you do a lot of wasteful expenditure. You see throughout the city how many of the platforms has been replaced. Good platforms has been replaced. We just saw it before our eyes in the last year. And on the other hand, we see so many interior roads. This Pallikaranai road that we are seeing, many such roads, corporation is saying we don't have enough funds to do it. So you clearly see what they have been doing time and again. And this entire lack of coordination on one side. There is corruption on the other side. There is also, non-application of mind, with respect to raising of road height and so on. So all these together has resulted in what we are seeing today.
So Chennai is a mess.
Chennai is definitely in a mess, and not only Chennai. We are now seeing it throughout Tamil Nadu, in many other places as well. And citizens, there have been various roads from across Tamil Nadu, from Tirunelveli, from Tiruvallur. Every place, people are now posting images which are so awful. The roads are so bad that it is very, very tough for anyone to commute on that road. And we are just in the beginning of the monsoon. So in the next 2 months, citizens are put to see, particularly when you have these potholes, you don't know where the pothole really is, because after the rain, because the water is going to go, cover it up. Now citizens can fall inside the pothole, accidents can happen. So it is again going to have result in multiple other problems. So this is the issue that we are facing today.
So now you talked about the quality of these roads. I remember when DMK government came to power, the chief secretary had issued an order saying, it's compulsory, it's mandatory to mill the roads to a certain level. And after that, roads should be relayed. Because I think they studied the pattern that what happened in AIADMK government. Because, you keep relaying the roads and the height of the road is being increased. So that is, like you said, has been creating a lot of issues.
See, in fact,
Go ahead.
So, in fact, that order came as a result of this entire campaign by citizens, which is to say the road height should not be increased. Even though when Irayanbu was the chief secretary, he came up with this order throughout Tamil Nadu that road height should not be increased. In fact, immediately after that, there were several roads for which we cancelled the tenders. For example, in Trichy, Trichy Corporation, we cancelled close to 70 tenders, where in the tender by design itself, they were, giving 10 centimeter of road laying and 4 centimeter of milling, which means even by design, it is designed to increase the road by 6 centimeters. So therefore, we had cancelled many such tenders. But at that point of time, the government promised that they won't issue any more tenders where the road height will increase on paper in the first place. But even today, we are seeing that they are continuing to doing it. In Madurai, on the other day, people are calling us, and when they call the engineer to ask why the road height is increasing, they are saying in the tender there is no provision for milling. So they are issuing tenders to raise the road height itself. So on one side we have this problem. On the other side, it's in terms of implementation as well. We have to actually mill the road for 4 centimeter and lay the road for 4 centimeter. The milling is of very poor quality, where they only mill it for 1 or 2 centimeters. In Pallikaranai, on the other day, we saw we raised a problem wherein the condition of the road is so poor. The solution that they came up with is to completely put a cement on top of it. They raised the road height, and the condition is also very poor.
I saw those pictures. Pallikaranai Updates has been, putting out the visuals of how terrible that road has become. Because initially they were having a different problem, and after cement was poured through, all across the road, they have other problems.
So, and of course, this is not the way it has to be addressed, right? So, of course, in rainy season, you have to do proper patchwork at least to ensure that we get across the monsoon. And after the monsoon, they should have properly milled the road and relayed the road. This is what they should have done.
But whose responsibility is this? Like, why should people, raise these complaints on Twitter or X or on social media, and after that there is a patchwork that is done, and that is also done in a very half-hearted manner because they don't want to resolve the issue. They just want to get rid of the problem. They just want people not to, raise these issues on social media. So that's how it's being dealt.
See, the fundamental problem in this is also identifying roads to be laid. Every AE, assistant engineer, is responsible for identifying poor quality roads in their area and float tenders for it. But many a times you will see what happens is that good roads are relayed because contractors find it very easy. In fact, even this list many a times is not prepared by the engineer, it's prepared by the contractor who will win the tender, the fixed tender many a times, primarily because they find it very easy to relay a good road. They just need to put a layer on top of it. Whereas if you have to relay a bad road, you have to do quite a bit of work for the contractor. So they don't prefer. And this is something, a very serious issue. And if you have to fix accountability for this, it has to be all the way at the top with the minister. It has to be K.N. Nehru at the top. It has to be the mayor, Priya at the top. You can't just fix accountability at the bottom level alone, because they should be responsible for saying, that every person, you identify poor roads in your area. And is there a random audit done to check whether whatever list that the AE is giving for relaying of roads, whether it is for the poor quality road or for the good quality road? So there has been no such a random audit that has been done. There is no quality check. Independent quality checking. If you remember the Pingle time, Vijay Pingle, when he was there in 2015, he found an independent quality checking team in the corporation. And that team went and found that 85% of the road laid is below expected quality. And today we don't have any such independent quality checking in the corporations or anywhere else. In Trichy Corporation Trichy Commissioner told us, after we identified the poor quality road, he said, we are appointing Anna University to do whether the quality is good or not. 6 months or 1 year later, we filed the RTI to check who has been appointed for independent quality checking. No such thing has been done. So all that is only in the talk. When you raise an issue, they will say, we will appoint Anna University, we will appoint IIT, we will do some independent checking and all that. But nothing happens on the ground really.
Now, as far as quality check is concerned, inspections are concerned, how many contractors have been punished, or how many contractors have been suspended or blacklisted, as far as your knowledge is concerned?
The last we heard about this one was in maybe 2015 when Vijay Pingle was there. But after that, pretty much nothing. See, when at least I remember when Bedi was there, he took some efforts to do some level of correction. But over the last 2-3 years, corporation has been going from bad to worse, is what I should say. Because today, the corporation, with respect to this quality check in particular, the mechanism that they have is what is called the PMC, Project Management Consultant. So if a road is laid, the contractor wins a contract, 2% of that contract is being given to the project management consultant. So the project management consultant will get that payment not when he or she finds fault with the road.
Completion of work.
Yeah, they get their payment after the completion of the road. Right? So there is an incentive for them to not say anything about the quality and clear the bills quicker, so that they could also get their bills cleared quickly. So this entire process is a sham, is what I will say, because this project management consultant model, if you have to do, it has to be built on finding issues, loopholes, finding issues, finding violations and so on. But none of that is there. So therefore, there is no independent kind of mechanism.
So now tell me one thing. Who are these PMCs? Are they government servants? Are they corporation employees? Are they experts? Or who are they?
See, they are supposed to be experts. But what happens typically is that these project management consultants are private firms. And they float for what they are saying is that the assistant engineer is unable to look at the quality of all the roads that are being laid. Therefore, we are having a private firm which will go on the ground to check the quality of the road. But if you look at many of these places where stormwater drains are being laid or being done, or roads are being laid, you will hardly find the PMC on the ground, because the PMCs have not been appointing the number of the amount of workforce that is really needed, what they are claiming in the tender, and they have very minimal workforce, and it's all also politically fixed in terms of who has to be the PMC and so on many a times. And we have exposed this earlier as well, in earlier times where they had bid from the same IP address and so on. So therefore, these PMCs act more on behalf of the contractor rather than the public. Their entire the trust, they are getting their payment out of the public's tax money. So their entire whatever that they have to do, they must be in the interest of the public. But what happens is that when they get 2% of the tender value as payment, or the contractor's payment as payment, what happens is that naturally they will want to clear the bills faster. in order to get their payment as soon as
So
possible.
they don't want to antagonize the contractors. They don't want to antagonize the corporation. So they will facilitate this process.
Very smoothly, and they will only point out to very, very minor errors. So in order to just showcase that they are coming up with errors, they will only showcase very, very minor ones rather than the major ones. So as a result of this, the quality is the victim in this entire process.
So now we are in the first phase of the northeast monsoon. Things look pretty bad because the kind of roads that Chennai has now, people are really scared. So who should take responsibility for this, and what needs to be done now?
See, the responsibility, as I said, in the entire chain of command, it is very easy to throw the responsibility at the lowermost official, but the responsibility must always be fixed with the topmost, because they are the ones who are they're giving administrative sanction. They are the ones who are responsible for monitoring the entire program and project. So therefore, it is at the top level. Be it state highways, it has to be Minister E.V. Velu. If it is corporation roads, it has to be K.N. Nehru and Mayor Priya. So we have to fix all the way till the top. And of course, the Chief Minister has to take up the overall responsibility for what is happening in the state. If the entire state we are witnessing these poor roads, it is the responsibility of the Chief Minister. And therefore, we have to fix the accountability right there at the Chief Minister and at the level of the ministers.
So when the Chief Minister says that we are ready to tackle any kind of eventuality, we are ready to handle this monsoon, but the biggest problem that has been brushed under the carpet is the issue of bad roads.
Yes.
Nobody's talking about it.
Yes, and primarily the government has found a way. The way that the government has found is that for every monsoon, now they are bringing these tractors and motors everywhere. So they think that if they have this in place throughout Chennai and throughout Tamil Nadu, when this monsoon is happening, they could just pump out the water. I see, pumping out this water is only a very temporary solution. You could have done it for 1 year or 2 years. To do this every year itself shows that the system has not responded to the poor roads, to the poor quality of draining that the city has. And nothing has been done so far. And when Chief Minister says, what he means is exactly these tractors. So we will see today and tomorrow and throughout this monsoon, these tractors and motors everywhere. That is not going to be the solution.
So we may see a flurry of activity, next year, like starting from January. Do you think the authorities or the politicians are saving that before, they could do all this before the election so that people will get convinced, people will think that, their issues are getting addressed and they'll vote for a political party? Is that the idea behind it?
See, there is absolutely no doubt that there is going to be thousands of tenders that we are going to see in the month of December and January. Because by end of February, we are going to have this model code of conduct for the elections. So by December and January, they will come up with this flurry of tenders. But the primary issue is that until date, they have not solved anything. And even these tenders, when you have so many tenders in a very short time, you cannot even monitor the quality at all. And so it will only result in more wasteful expenditure probably. They will just fix many tenders before the elections. It will go into the pockets of many politicians for them to spend during the elections. But more than that, has there been any planning for the city? Has there been any planning of, if you look at this entire monsoon issue, the CMDA is responsible for, Chennai Metropolitan Development Authority is responsible for the planning of the city. They have not been conducting themselves with respect to the master plan. They have been violating time and again. They have been, the water bodies are not preserved. It has been continuously being given for real estates and other things. On the other side, if you look at the state highways and the corporation, they have not been doing proper quality work with respect to or there is no proper vision with respect to corporation. There are 210 ponds that comes within corporation's limit. So it has not been restored properly. The water is not, missing link stormwater drains are there. So the water is not draining into the water bodies. So that work has not been done properly. On the other side, we see the road issue. where citizens every day has to go at least 10 or 15 potholes that they have to cross before reaching them. So this is the condition of the roads today. And between the last 4 years, what is the plus that has happened is something that we are not able to see. We are only able to see that the roads have become worse, from bad to worse. It has not improved at all. And that is the thing that we are facing. In fact, in many places where conditions of the roads were better, today it has become very poor. And that is the issue that we are facing. Except for the main roads, most of the interior roads, we are facing this issue.
Right, Jayaram. Thank you so much for joining us and giving your insights on what exactly is happening. And I feel the government wakes up and does something, because these are all very important issues, basic issues that people expect. But time and again, the common man is being failed, is what I can say from the way how our entire system works. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you. Thank you.